Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. So what you heard me play at the start of this video is a groove, and it has what's known as a collapsing roll in place of a regular backbeat. So in this case, on beat 4, I was playing a collapsing roll. So what is a collapsing roll? Well, firstly, the term collapsing roll was coined by my good friend Peter Blick, and it's the type of roll that you probably hear Steve Gadd play. So if you look at the 26 standard American drum rudiments, snare drum rudiments, there's 5-stroke roll, 7-stroke roll, 9, 11, etc., etc. Anyway, what traditionally occurs with those rolls is that we play a roll and then there's an accent at the end of the roll. So for example, here's a 5-stroke roll. So you can hear that the accent is the resolving note. The note that the roll ends on is the note with the accent. So a collapsing roll in this case is when the accent is actually at the front of the roll, and this is something that you would hear Steve Gadd play quite often. So in this case, if I play that 5-stroke roll as a collapsing roll, the accent is actually at the start of the roll, not the resolving note. So it would sound more like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. I really like the sound of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that approach of playing the roll as a collapsing roll in a groove, as you heard me play at the start of the video. So before we play this collapsing roll within the groove, I like to play a little exercise first that kind of will prepare you to get that sound. So what we're going to play in this exercise is 4/16 notes on beat 1 and then the roll starting on beat 2. That will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'll do is I'll put an accent at the start of that roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next thing I'll do in this exercise is play that accent on beat 2 as a rim shot, because generally when I play grooves, my backbeat is a rim shot. So here's that same exercise again, but that accent on beat 2, which is the start of the collapsing roll, will be played as a rim shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then what I'll do is play a groove and I'll put that collapsing roll on beat 4 in place of a regular backbeat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I've done with that exercise is basically just orchestrated those first 4/16 notes between the hi-hat and snare drum. I've gone from this to this. So the notes on the snare drum that are not accents are actually just played as ghost strokes. So here's that same idea again, but in this case I'm going to actually put that exercise on beats 1 and beats 2. So the collapsing roll in this case will be on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, not all backbeats have to be on the downbeat, and it's quite popular in some styles of music to put a backbeat on, say, the 4th 16th note of beat 1, like this, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you've heard a lot of grooves that have that anticipated backbeat. So what we're going to do is actually take that anticipated backbeat and turn that into a collapsing roll. So before we actually play that groove, again, we should play an exercise that's going to help us prepare for that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play 4 16th notes, but on the 4th 16th note, 1E and A, is where we're actually going to start that collapsing roll. And this is a little tricky because we're going to play this collapsing roll starting with the left hand. We'll get into more detail as we play it and move it to the drum set, but this is what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the tricky part in this, or at least the first tricky part, is then just taking that accent and playing that as a rim shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem comes when we play this type of pattern between the hi-hat and the snare drum. It's important that we allow our right hand to get out of the way of the left hand. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos talking about the right hand sweep, we're not doing that. Instead, what we're going to do is move the right hand outward to accommodate for the snare drum backbeat. Slowly, it will look like this. Here's the same exercise a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I need to do is take 2 beats of that exercise and place that at the front of my groove. I'm going to add a kick on beat 1, maybe on the 1 hand as well, and then just play out the rest of the bar as a normal groove. And that should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the key to that version of that roll that starts on the 1E and A is to just get the right hand out of the way so that you can hit that backbeat and then come back to the snare drum quickly to commence that roll. So just be mindful of your movements, of your motion when you're playing between the snare drum and hi-hat that way. Anyway, the point of this whole video is really to encourage you to come up with your ideas, and inserting rolls like this in grooves sounds really great. It's a really great color, and you might hear drummers like Steve Gadd use this idea, or Vinnie Colaiuta would use this idea, possibly even someone like Dave Weckl. But I encourage you to come up with your own grooves. There is a PDF that you can download. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description underneath this video. And also, I've done a whole video on collapsing rolls as well. So I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description underneath this video as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it the thumbs up, like it. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, and remember to hit that notification button so that you know when I've uploaded a video. Anyway, until the next video, enjoy this idea, have fun practicing, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you and goodbye.